what I want to do is go over 3 tips to cooling your attic, because if you cool your attic, you'll save on not only your electric bills, but you'll also take the load off your AC unit and it'll last longer. So that's your real savings there. So there's 3 things you can do to cool your attic. Number 1 is the ventilation, because the ventilation should come up through the soffit vents, so the air should come up through there and then should exhaust through their gable vent on either end, or these little vents that are right on the top of the roof, or ridge vents, you know, different variations. So it goes, air goes in the bottom, goes out the top. So if you plug it at the bottom and it can't get to the top, that's a problem. Or you could have the vents open here, but if they're not open at the top, you're gonna have a problem. That's number 1. Number 2, we're gonna go over radiant barrier. And number 3, we're gonna go over a fan that will actually pull the hot air out across the top of the roof and out the other gable. So those are the 3 things we're gonna go over, and at the end we're gonna go over a bonus for saving money related to your AC unit. Probably the easiest thing to do of all of the tips I'm going to show you are clean out these soffit vents. So along the soffit, I probably have 8 of these, and when I first moved in, these were just completely covered in dirt. And so what I did is took a brush and just push it up in there and get all the dirt out of the soffit vent, so that there's nothing covering that, because if you don't have air intake, you can't ventilate the attic. Soffit vents can also look like this, where they're, you know, this is just a real long row of soffit vents, and so you have to clean those out as well, get all the gunk out of there, and do that about twice a year at least. Okay, so once you've cleaned out the soffit vents, you come up in the attic and you make sure there's nothing obstructing. So over there you can see that soffit vent that's right directly under that area is clear, so the air flows from the soffit vent into the attic. Okay, and then you come over here to these gable vents or any other vent, and you can take a brush and you can brush out these gable vents and get them really clean so that air flows through there. So once you've got air flowing in the bottom of the roof, all the way to the top of the roof, you've got good ventilation. The second thing that I recommend is getting this radiant foil barrier. And what this does is this radiant foil goes along the roof. You staple it along the roof, or you can put it along the insulation, but here I put it on the roof. What it does is when the heat comes in and heats up the shingles, it sends radiant heat into the attic, which it will come down here and heat up your insulation. Okay, so what you do is you put in these radiant barriers, and it stops that radiant heat from going into here, so you can cool this room down with good ventilation, but you can still have the radiant heat coming in and heating up the attic. So that's why I highly recommend putting this in. It probably dropped my attic about 10 degrees by putting this in here. And again, the ventilation probably dropped at 5 degrees, and then 10 degrees with this radiant barrier. The third and last step of getting all the heat out of your attic is installing a gable fan. So the fan is actually, so this is my second story here, and there's a gable fan, or I'm sorry, the gable is over there. So the gable fan on the other end of the house pulls the air in this gable, and you know, all the soffit vents and everywhere, pulls it across the roof here and pulls it through that opening into the second story all the way across and out the other gable vent. Now we've gone to the other side of the roof, and this is above the second story, and then I've got this room down here, okay, with the radiant barrier in place, and then we've got the gable fan. Okay, so basically, as a review, make sure all your soffits are open and pulling air from below. All your vents are open. Everything's pulling towards the gable fan. And I got this gable fan from QC, Oklahoma, I believe, and I got it at a home show, and been really impressed with this thing. It's dropped the The temperatures, like I said, it can be 100 outside and it's only 110 in my attic, which is pretty incredible. So again, three things: good ventilation, radiant barrier, and you're pulling the air outside. And the nice thing I like about that Gable fan is it's got a Bluetooth, and so it tells you what your attic humidity is and your temperature, and it has all these different fan settings. So I highly recommend getting this. I'll put the link where I did a review on these and show you how to install it. And again, all the links to the radiant barrier I'll put on in the description. So I hope this saves you a lot of money and keeps your house a lot cooler. Okay, the bonus tip is about twice a year, or even more if you have those cottonwoods that are going to stick up inside here. But since the air pulls from the outside in, you'll if you take these grills off, you'll wash from the top down, and then you'll actually spray from the inside out. So to do that, you come over here and you pull out the breaker that shuts it off, the fuse that shuts them off, and then you can take the top off. For this unit, that's the easiest for me to do here, and then you spray from the inside out, and then you go around and spray down all these veins and get everything down. But mine's super clean, so mine shouldn't take very long. And so that's the second tip. Now when you're finished cleaning it out, you can get one of these infrared thermometers, and you can measure the intake temperature and compare it to the exit temperature. And sometimes you can do that if they're really clogged up. You can see a big difference before and after when you clean it. So we're going to look at the difference here. So you can see the intake temperature is 90.9, and you can see the temperature at the top is 106.3. So that's a pretty big difference, and so that's showing that we're pulling a lot of heat out of the house. So on my smaller unit, it's 89.90 for the intake temperature, and 104 for the smaller unit, 105 for the exit, meaning we're transferring a lot of heat into the outside, bringing it in from the house. As part of the bonus tips, don't forget to clean your AC filter for the air filter. And I've replaced mine with this washable filter, which makes it really nice. Just 3 or 4 times a year, I take these out and just wash them. And they're, I think I got them off eBay, but you can look at that and search for them yourself. And I highly recommend these. And they have some downstairs that are flexible, because I couldn't get them in my unit downstairs, so they actually make flexible ones. One thing I forgot to mention: if your AC quits working, there's usually 3 things that it could be. The one is the breaker fuse. So behind here there's a fuse, and you can take this out and you can test the fuse by using an ohms meter. And I'll post a link to the professionals that show you how to test all this stuff. And also, most common is start capacitor in these, and they're real easy to change out, and they're only like 20 to 40 bucks. So I'll put a video in there to show you how to troubleshoot these, or a switch. And those are the most common things that can go wrong. So if you can keep those on hand, and then if it goes out, you can just swap them out and fix it yourself.